Hi there. Welcome to Sunnyside Journals. I'm Catherine, and I'm here today with a flip through of a junk journal that I just finished recently. Gee, I had a lot of fun making this book. It almost felt like it made itself. It is chapter 2 or book 2 from an encyclopedia series, the Illustrated Do-It-Yourself Encyclopedia. And it's book 2 for letters BRA to CLO. So there was a lot of built-ins, a lot of brushes. And there was a little bit on cars near the end. Built-ins as in built-in cabinets. Its copyright is 1954, so there were a lot of fabulous photos in it, and I tried to make use of lots of them. I didn't get them all in. These will go to the new owner so that the new owner can still have fun with a lot of these beautiful retro vintage photos. 1954, I guess that makes them vintage. Yeah, so let's start off with the basics here. It's 6 inches wide, 9 inches long, and it's approximately 1¼ inches thick. It has a hidden hollowback spine and 7 signatures. It has a total of 156 pages. I've given it a little dangle here with an old key and an old puzzle piece that's a map. I'm not sure of where. I guess I should know. And a little bead that sort of matches the colors that are going on here, reds and yellows. I think that's kind of fun. I like the sound it makes. And it's up and out of the way so that it just adds for decor, but you can move it up when you want to open the book and write in it. I made a book plate from the lock plate from an old door lock. So this is the part where if you turn the handle and the bolt goes in to the hole over there, this is the part that protects it. And I've held it in place with 2 really old vintage brads. And I've added the word happiness because I feel like happiness is do it yourself. You go after happiness and find it any way you can. So this is slightly removable if you want to try. I'm not sure I'd want to try it. I think if you took some tweezers, you could lift that out. I didn't glue it down. So if you want to give it a try, that's up to you. I like that it says happiness, so I'm just leaving that the way it is. It has ribbon closure that runs through the entire book just for safety's sake. Everything in this book except the glue and the ink and the signature threads that I used to sew, everything else is from repurposed sources. So it's either from a thrift store, a yard sale, an antique store, an estate sale, anywhere that I can find and repurpose materials. Everything in here is from there. The papers, I get them from my thrift stores. I find business folders. This is the front pocket and the back pocket were created from an old retro game box. I cut the lid of the box and made pockets out of that. So just so that you know, where possible, I have reused papers from in the book. This is the original front page of the book. I've included the copyright date there so that you know. Oh, I said it was 1954. There we go. It's 1956. I apologize. I stand corrected. 1956. This also was from one of the original front pages, so I put it here and double matted it and used some eyelets to give a little bit of detail. I think that looks nice. You'll see a theme of mostly reds and blacks in this book. I sort of started feeling it when I saw these reds and blacks here. and the red and the gold. It just sort of jumped out at me. For the most part, this book, any kind of decorating and ephemera, I have tried to use actually from the book. This illustration is out of the book. You're going to see as we start getting into it that I've tried really hard to just honor the book rather than gathering too much ephemera from other sources. I've tried to create ephemera from the contents of the original book. Now over here I have, if it's red, I must confess I've included things because I love red. So these are 2 playing cards that I have turned into journaling cards. I'm including a Hello, My Name Is as an ex libris. I love these, and I think they make really cute ex libris. And the new owner can stick it wherever they want to stick it. If they want to put it inside and put it there and write their own name inside. I'm just going to include that loose, and the new owner can decide where they want to put, if they want to put a Hello, My Name Is inside. On every single first page of each signature has a tag. They're all different. Some I have taken from the book, some I have created from other interesting papers. This page is from a 1942 agriculture yearbook. And I just thought that was interesting because who doesn't need to be warned about foot and mouth disease, right? There's lots of room for journaling I've left in this book. I didn't do too much of my stuff so that the new owner can do lots of their stuff. The next leaf is from a 1922 atlas, a Dutch atlas, so it's not in English. And although this map was printed in 1922, it's taken from the map that they had from 1648 to 1789. I've reinforced the folds because I had to fold it in order to fit it all in. I didn't want to have to cut the map. It's so pretty. So because I had to do a fold, I've reinforced the fold with washi tape. And that, pardon me, washi tape is new. Washi tape is very hard to find secondhand, and I suspect it wouldn't be very sticky anymore. But I've also reinforced the stickiness with glue so that it will hold fast. So yeah, 1922 for this map. Here's a page from the original book. Ledger paper. Original book. Here's the other side of that map. It's so pretty. Again, washi tape here supporting that fold. This page is almost 100 years old, so I'd need a little support too if I was almost 100 years old. It's 99 years old. This is the other side of the foot and mouth disease, and this one's on tuberculosis. How nice! I've created a little tuck spot here from How Burglar Proof Is Your Home. I just thought the illustrations were so cute, and I had to include them all. And then I created a little pocket from another page in the book, and then created a little journaling card. And all I've done is kept this loose. There's a little sewing around the edge. I've kept it loose. The new owner can glue it in if they want, wherever it is that they want it, or they can leave it loose if they like. In the second signature, I've included a few little extra cards. This card is for talent. This card is for inspiration. And this card is surprise. And then this is a vintage subtraction card. And because it's red, I couldn't resist it. That came from some happy mail from Wishes and Weeds. Thanks, Nancy. Here's a page out of a plant calendar. More tea-dyed paper. Lots and lots of tea-dyed paper in here. This page is from an art book that was from 1949. Here's a little tuck spot, again, made from a page out of the actual book and an illustration that was in the actual book. I had a TV like that when I was growing up. That was our first television. Looked just like that. And then some spaces for journaling. This is from the actual book as well. So I just tucked that in there. I made another journaling card on an old index file folder for number 10, and there's a little boy playing with games in his bedroom. And this was from the built-ins. So this was showing you how to make built-ins inside of a headboard. And then there's room on the back for journaling, and that was one of the words from in the book, so I cut that out and I included it. Here is an old milk bottle top, and it was in black and red, so I had to include that. I created a little notebook out of, this is one of the end papers from the original book, this really wild green and gray and black retro kind of paper. So I had to include that. So I made a little book out of some offcuts from some of the papers that are actually that I used in the book. And then I created a cover on how to avoid paintbrush failures. In case you weren't sure, now you'll know. All the don't lists are right there. More tea-dyed paper. Another page from out of the original page out of the book. This book just lays open nicely. It all just really came together nicely. The pages enjoyed being flattened out in my book press, which is nice when they don't fight me. I made a couple of journaling cards out of some Rolodex cards. Again, just a theme of the red and black, continuing red thread where I've sewn to make this pocket. This is from the original book, How to Check a Valve in a Car. This page is from a 1929 book that was promoting the accountant's course at LaSalle University. So I included that. 1929. So that's almost 100 years old as well. Oh my goodness. This is from a reprint of an old Sears Roebuck catalog. As ever, I have to include a guest book spread. I love guest book spreads in junk journals. They're just fun. And they're usually really nice, heavy quality paper. The other side of the LaSalle University Accountant's book for 1929. The beginning of another signature here. Again, I've made all the beginnings different. This one I've used a page from the actual book. Here is half of a tea-dyed envelope, and I split the fold in half so that this can be, hold on here, so that can be a little tuck spot. That fits right in there, like that. So, ledger paper, more paper from LaSalle University. This paper is from a yachting logbook. You'll see that this book is actually quite unisex or non-sex. It really would be really nice for male or female or non-binary. Here's the other side of that tea-dyed envelope. It's a window envelope, so you'll see that I offset it because I wanted to be able to include the whole window. And then I made a journaling card out of an index card and some of the interior chapter headings and photo illustrations. Come on, in you go. It's going to be difficult. Always difficult when the camera's rolling and they slide right in if the camera's not going. Beginning of another signature, a new little tab. I made a tuck spot out of a money envelope. I didn't put anything in it yet. And then I stamped on it, I stamped an eyeball looking at you, and it says private, so that it's like a little secret spot. And then that just closes up like that. And then here's a little card, again, created from a page out of the book with some sewing around the edge. And it's from a multiplication card. This is from a travel service company that was, again, Happy Mail from a friend. More pages on burglar proofing your home. I love that little burglar. He's cute. These pages were quite, the original pages from the book, most of them have had to be reinforced, but I think it actually ended up making it look pretty. I tried my best to actually, I used a tear edge and inked it, and I think it turned out actually quite nice. More tea-dyed paper. This is a page out of a British gardening book. I included here, I have washi taped and reinforced it with glue, a CD envelope. And what I've done is I've tucked inside some playing cards, but I have not turned them into journaling cards yet. I figured the new owner might enjoy doing that themselves. I shouldn't be so tempted to do everything myself. Half the fun of a junk journal is starting to make it your own and putting your own imprint onto it. The ending of this signature, I added some holes. This is actually from a vintage photo album that I have, just the holes though. I like using the windows from this photo album, but each page has these amazing holes on the end. So I thought, I gotta save that and reuse it. And then I ran some ribbon through it and added some really cool looking big washi tape. I created a, come on out. What are you doing? There we go. I created a tuck spot from a photo from the book, and then there's some little cards tucked in there, some journaling cards made from index cards. I won't put those in so far this time. This is the other side of that page. I really like how that turned out. That's really nice and bright and bold. Here's a little tuck pocket that I made. It's loose, so I've just paper clipped it in so that it can be put wherever you want. It's made from pages out of the book and sewn with my sewing machine and a little eyelet put in. And then I made a journaling card on how to stroke with your paintbrush from the book. And that's from a large index card that I cut into 3. So for now, I've just put that there. The new owner can put that wherever they want. Music paper. A doily. This doily was quite old, so I've reinforced it with washi tape as well. There's a little tuck spot here that I've created from part of the book and sewn around the edge. And this is just a euchre card, but there's lots of journaling space on it. This tag was made from a page out of the book. At the end here, again, we've got a pocket that I've made from the lid of a game box, a really old game box. And then I've included a few little things back here. I made a card from, again, there was a lot on built-in cupboards in this second book of this encyclopedia. I got to read a lot about built-ins as I was making it. But that's, I glued that onto a blank postcard that I had, so that made a nice journaling spot. And then I've just included, it's black and white, so it's a bird nesting card that I found at one of my little stores. So that's it. That's DIY. And I love how this turned out. It's a really comfortable book. It's a nice size. It would be lovely for writing in, drawing in, adding to, even taking away if something I've put in isn't appealing. Take it out, put something in that appeals to you. I like that about junk journals. I will, as ever, be sending along leftovers. There's always a goodie envelope goes with my journals when they go to their new home. So this should be available within a day or two in my Etsy store. And the link for my Etsy store is listed down below. So thanks very much for visiting, and I hope you're all having a great day, and we'll talk soon. Bye.